Hey, are you tired of being a stinky person? Yeah, you. Well, I've got some good news for you. Right now, until Thursday next week, July 13th, if you head on over to soap.com, you can get 50% off all kinds of soaps by using the promo code CONSOLOPOD. Liquid soap, bar soap, the foam kind with the pump, you name it, you can have the soap and you smell good after you use it. Just head on over to soaps.com, tell them that Billy sent you, and maybe Donnie if Billy is not available. Tell them that Sam and Stu sent you. And right now, through the next week, you can get 50% off all kinds of smells. You name it, it's probably a smell. Pumpkin, watermelon, melon, apple, grapefruit, Tabasco sauce. If you think of a smell, Donnie and Billy have it. So head on over to soaps.com right now until the next week when I said that the sale is over, and get all your soap supply needs for you got it. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We love you so. Your human buddy Sam and his teddy friend, this is hello. The song's almost over, it's about to end, let's start the show. The Cahn Solo Podcast. All right, you came back. Wow. Even after listening to that, you came back. Hello. Thanks for joining us. What a fun last 24 hours it's been in the world of social media. We have a new app. It's technically Instagram, but it's a new app, I think. It's called Threads, if you haven't heard of it. It's Twitter's the evil brother. Threads is the good brother. And I'm really liking it a lot so far. And I have been on this fucking app for like on and off today. I don't want to look at the screen time, but I'm going to say it's like 3 hours. I know, but it's new and it's exciting, and that's why. I don't know how long Mark Zuckerberg and crew were developing this, but it's really simple. Like, the layout is really simple, but so is Twitter. And it makes me wonder if he started doing this around the time that Elon Musk took over Twitter, because he knew this is going to be a nightmare. We should get cracking on this. It feels like it's so plain, but I mean, so is like Facebook and everything. There's just, you go on there and you type out what you want to say, and it's like Twitter, like I said. And you can like it, reply, re-thread it, and then there's like I don't know what this is. There's like a little arrow. Okay, you can add the story. Oh, okay, because it's connected to Instagram, you can post I keep wanting to call it a tweet. It's like a thread. You could post that to your Instagram account, which is really cool. But it is, it's new, so there's some shitty things on there. Like, you can't, I'm sure there's a way that I just don't know about yet, but you can't look at the timeline as with people that you follow. So it's just a bunch of really popular people, like Jimmy Fallon is on here. I keep seeing him pop up, and I don't even follow him, but it's like he's really popular, so his things are getting the most attention, and I don't like that, because I follow like regular people that I know and like hearing from. So I want to see them, but you can't do that. You have to search for their name, and I'm following like, I don't know, 1,000 people. It's really cool because right when you sign up for it, it gives you the option to follow everybody that you follow on Instagram. And once they sign up for Threads, it automatically like follows them. So if I want to follow my brother Nate, when I signed up, I was like, yeah, I want to follow everybody. So if Nate never signs up, I'll never follow him. But when he does sign up, it'll automatically put me and whoever else wants to follow him on his list. So because of that, my notifications have been going fucking crazy, and I'm at like 1,000 followers already, and it's because of like 1,000 people have signed up who I follow. So that's really cool. And like I said, it's the Instagram community. So I like those people. I really like them. So if you're listening and you're from Instagram, I love you. Speaking of which, we gotta discuss the elephant in the room. Well, it's not really an elephant in the room, but I want to say the last 10, 15 episodes or so, I'm trying here, and I'm going to be a little real and vulnerable. I like doing this. But I don't want anyone to be like, "Oh, I love it though. You're so great. You're so funny." I know I am. No, I say this. I feel like I'm not very good at this, and that's okay. That's okay. And I don't know if it's because it's just me and Stu. Stu's here. Or it's because I don't really have like a niche. And you know, I've talked about this before. People go on to see whoever, true crime people, sports people, they go on and they're like, all right, I'm going to listen to this today. And they're going to be talking about this. But with me, I had to talk about whatever the fuck I want. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing what I thought I would be doing by now. And that's putting out listenable content. And when, like, every time that I'm doing this, I picture people listening to my voice. Like, I'm in their headphones, I'm in their car, I'm on their TV if they're watching. And I imagine that, and I'm like, Doff, these poor people. I know that you're doing this by force. I don't know. I guess I'm really hard on myself a lot, just with everything. And this avenue is really tough for me, because I'm especially hard on myself because, like I said, I expected to know how to do better professionally. Still can't figure out the sound. I still don't know what I'm doing with the camera. I don't know, like, I'm editing poorly, and I always get people like, no, the sound is great, and the editing is fine. But I'm my own worst critic, aren't we all? So I just I posted on the YouTube, the like community section or whatever, and I mentioned this, I think, last week, that I kind of want to stop this. I don't know if I want to stop it for good, or if I want to take a long break, or if I even do it all. I don't know. I changed my mind so much about everything, but I got it in my head like, all right, I'm gonna stop at like 30, but then I kind of was like, well, no, you'll get it. But then I felt like maybe I'll just stop at 35 and see what happens. And a few of you on that post and on Instagram, you know, DMing and saying, no, keep it up, you're great, don't, you know. And then other people they're supportive of me stopping. They're not like, fuck you, yeah, stop. They're like, yeah, you know, if you're not happy, stop. But that's the thing. It's not that I'm not happy. I like doing this. I feel like it's just not very good. And like I said, that's okay. We're all not going to be good at every single thing that we do. And I'm gonna say it. I'm fucking good at making little short skits. I'm a fucking funny son of a bitch. But the long form stuff is, if I don't have a plan, if I don't have a set thing, I just feel like I'm gonna be delivering mediocre shit, and I don't like doing that. And when I do like the short form content, like I do skits and everything, especially lately, like the last year or so, I've been really good about like writing a script, sticking with it. And I used to just kind of, hit record and act like an idiot and ideas would come out. But now I'm like, you gotta focus and get what you want to do it, and be happy with the results. Because a lot of times I'll start filming something and then I'll stop and I'm like, fucking, I totally forgot this one thing, and it's gonna mess up everything. Like, and I always get so mad at myself for forgetting to do that. So I do have like a rough idea of what I'm doing every time that I sit down and do this, believe it or not. But I don't know. When I'm editing, I'm listening to it and I'm like, this is just not good. Like, what is this? What is this episode? If you're still listening, like, what is this? I'm just talking about how I can't do it, but I am technically doing it. And, I don't know if I need to stick to shorter stuff or stop doing this and come back when I don't know. I have a better idea of what I'm doing. And a couple people were saying like, well, why don't you do it every 2 weeks so that you can have more, a better idea of what you're going to be doing. But part of why I like doing this once a week is because it's a routine. And if I fall out of routine, I give up. And I think I've talked about this before, but I would rather have like a fluff episode or a filler episode than to have no episode, because if I don't have that episode, I'll go like that extra week, and then it's hard for me to get back into the groove, if you want to call this a groove. And also, I don't know. I don't want to quit at the same time, because I quit a lot of things. And if I stop doing this, I'll focus more of my time onto like the short form, because I have so many skits that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and a lot of them are probably like stale now, like old ideas that just are gonna go over everybody's heads, or they're not funny anymore. And like the grimace shake, that was last week that was like a really popular thing, and now you can't do that now. It's like, oh yeah, that was last week. Like, that's how fast everything moves. So I fear if I take like a week off and do it every other week, I'm gonna fall out of that groove and miss things that are semi current. So I don't know. I'm just kind of in this what should I do thing, because I really like doing this, and the support has been overwhelming. For some reason, the last video about Colleen Ballinger and the Grimace Shake, that was the biggest, most popular episode we've had to date. I don't know what it was. I don't know if okay, so it was either because it was about Colleen and the Grimace shakes because those were trending things, or if it was because I recently announced that I was maybe going to be stopping, and then people were like, "Oh, we're going to go watch this and support Sam," or if maybe the episode was just really good. Like, I don't know, it was one of the three, maybe it was all three of them, but either way, it kind of blew up, and I was pleasantly surprised. That was really cool. I do want to say real quick that is as awesome as it is. That has never been the goal, or nor will it ever be the goal, to get like a bunch of views and a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of listeners. Like, I'm not trying to become a thing, like a big thing. I enjoy doing this, and I like having, I wouldn't consider it a small community, but I would say like there's like 300 of you that listen to this, and that's a big fucking number. But in the social media world, that's small. It is. And I like that. I really like being able to respond to everybody, and I like being able to, like, Thanos. Hey, Thanos. Thanos listens. I don't know if any of you remember Thanos 15 episodes ago. He does the soldering, still interacting with each other. And I love that. I love that shit. And I can't even think of anyone's names right now, of course, but I love interacting with you guys, and that has been really fun for me. So when I got a couple comments that were like, "Man, you should be so much more popular," and again, I appreciate every single one. If I had 20,000 people that were listening, awesome, great, cool. But I would be just as happy as having 3. If I had 1, I'm just as happy, because when people mention, especially the last episode, when people mention something that I say at the end of an episode, that, like, it throws me off, because I'm like, wait, how did you know? How did you know I said that? And it's like, oh, they listened to it. They listened to the whole thing. And it's just wild to me that people stick around that long. And like, if I say right now, "Ooga booga," and someone comments "Ooga booga," I'm going to be so touched that you stuck around this long. So thank you, Ooga booga. I don't know though. I'm still undecided about this. I would say I'm like 80% sure that I'm going to stop. But that might change in the next couple of episodes, because it's a routine that I've become used to. And when I get into a routine and then I stop it, like I said, game over. And I don't know if I stick with it and just keep thinking that I'm gonna do better. I don't know. Sometimes I end up stopping, and there's a lot of, like, Duolingo. I started trying to learn Spanish again years ago, and like at the beginning of the year, I started doing it like 15-20 minutes a day, and it actually has a little streak thing on there. It's like, oh, you did 7 days in a row, you did 30 days in a row, and it's high five. But if I miss a day, there's actually a thing on there, you can use like a little freeze streak, and you can, like, oh, if I missed a day, I collected enough gems, I can say that I did a lesson that day. Just kind of cheating. But I ended up missing like 2 days or whatever, and it was too late to use the little gems. But I missed it anyway. And I did, like, for some stupid reason, I was like, well, I missed the day, time to stop doing it. No more like, I haven't opened the app since April, I think. And I stopped trying to learn Spanish, because I figured if I got out of the routine, then what's the point? And I may have mentioned this before. The Kindle. I tried to like start reading again, and I downloaded David Eric Grohl's autobiography, and I figured like, all right, I'm gonna read like 20 minutes a day, and then I stopped after like a week, and I was like, well, can't do that anymore. And it's such a stupid way to go about life. And so I do it so much that if I even like flossing, I'm so bad with flossing. And I was like, all right, Sam, New Year's. I usually start things on New Year's, and if I fuck up, I start on my birthday, because like that's technically a new year for me. So start on my birthday. And if I miss a day, then I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm not flossing anymore. I missed a day of flossing, or I missed a night of flossing. Supposed to floss every night. I haven't flossed in a long time, and it's such a stupid thing to do. So that's kind of why I don't want to stop doing this, is because of that. And it'll be one more thing that I quit, and I don't want to look back in like, 3 months and be like, man, why'd you stop? You should do it again. Why'd you stop? But in the same breath, like I said, I wouldn't, no offense to anybody, I wouldn't watch this. And that's how I gauge certain content that I make. It's usually if my brothers enjoy it, and if anyone enjoys it, and if I enjoy it now. And we're, like I said, we're our own worst critic, and I'm sure even on this video there's going to be people that are like, no, this is funny, but like it's not. This one wasn't funny. And I love the support, and I love the sense of community, but I don't know, I feel like I'm just not good at this. It's kind of like if Keanu Reeves were to start, if he were to start doing like running a children's TV show, like read books to kids, like a Mr. Rogers type thing. Like, actually, no, that's a terrible example. I would love to watch that. Everyone would love to watch that. What a sweet man. I don't know who's somebody that like nobody likes. Casey Anthony, we'll use her. Casey Anthony, she's gonna start hosting a kids show. Wrong fucking avenue, Casey. Burn in hell. No, I don't know. My brain's all over the place. My point is that sorry, I saw a Casey Anthony post a couple days ago, and she popped in my head for some reason. My point is that we are, aside from Keanu, sometimes we got to pick a thing that we're good at, stick with it. If we enjoy something and we're not very good at it, cool, do that for fun. But if you feel like it's just not good and you're not proud of it, then maybe stop. Try something else, or reorganize yourself with that thing, and then when you're ready and you want to put it out and be proud of it, then do that. And that's my point. I am not very proud of I'm not very proud of this. I'm proud of what I have been doing. I've been proud of that. I've stuck with it, that I've I set up everything, and even though it's a little uncomfortable and tight, I make it work, and it looks better than if I wasn't doing this. And I tried. That's the good job, Sam. I tried. I did try. I tried. I actually did. And I don't know what I could have done better. I guess if I just like watched YouTube videos or listened to actual podcasts and got an idea of how these things go, instead of being like, yeah, I'll kind of wing it. I'll get the hang of it after a dozen episodes or so. And that's what I don't like, is that I don't like that every time I sit down and I edit, I'm listening to myself and I'm like, God damn, dude, it fucking sucks. And again, no offense to any of you that are listening and enjoy this. I know that I get people that are like, yeah, this is great. And I don't like, I guess it's relatable and it's personable. It's like I'm sitting in the fucking car with you and we're driving to the airport and I have a flight and I'm talking on the way over and you're listening and you're a great listener. You really are. Ooga booga. And I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. So that's what this episode was about. What's going to happen? I don't know. I hope that I get something clicks or something, and painting myself into the corner and being like, all right, it's going to end here. Make sure that you're finally proud. Then maybe I will be. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Until then, thank you very much for listening. Ooga booga for the third time. And we'll see you next week. I'm really grateful that we're in such a sweet spot as far as, like, okay, if we were to stop right now, there'd be people that'd be like, oh man, this kind of sucks. But it's not like we, other than soap, we don't have any sponsors. We don't have anything that we're really responsible for. I don't have a live person that maybe wants to keep doing this or doesn't want to keep doing it. And we don't have like the patrons. Obviously, I don't know how that even works with stopping that, but like, what's her face? Colleen Ballinger, the awful woman from last week. She just started a podcast with this other woman like 4 weeks ago. And I think they had like 3 episodes. They had to stop. Like, they had to stop because of what she did. And they had like, the last I think I saw last week, like 45,000 subscribers. Because they already both had a big following. But that sucks. And I'm grateful that like we're not in that position. So it's less stressful to think about that. Like, this never felt like an obligation or like work. And I'm proud of that. I never got to the point where I was like, fuck, man, fuck. And it because we're in that sweet spot. Like I said, we're not obligated to anyone. We could do whatever the fuck we want. Yeah. Right, Stu? That's right. Anyway, thank you to the patrons. Thank you to thank you to everybody. Thank you if you're listening, watching, however you're consuming us. We really appreciate it. We really do. And like I said, don't know what's gonna happen, but next week we're not gonna talk about this shit. Even on the last episode, we're not gonna talk about, if there is a last episode, we're not gonna talk about like the farewell. We're gonna do the episode, whatever happens. Hopefully something crazy happens. We'll see. Mark Zuckerberg and what's his face, Elon Musk, are apparently gonna have like a cage match or something. Fucking great. Stupid timeline we're in. God damn, it's stupid. All right, that'll do it for us. I am going to get this out tomorrow, Friday. This is going to be a Friday episode because I looked it up that podcasts are supposed to be like released on Thursdays and Fridays. Those are the just days you're supposed to do it. So we're going to start doing that from now on. Even though this might be the end. Finally getting our act together. Thank you again to the patrons, and Mr. Stu, did you have anything you'd like to add? You know what, Stu? That's a great idea. I think we should do that this weekend. I'll probably have to charge the Kindle though because that thing is definitely dead by now. Yeah, and yeah, we'll just start the book over because as much as I love Dave Grohl, I do not remember what was happening when I last read it. Yeah. Okay. The year we're halfway done with the year. So if you have any goals or anything that you haven't gotten around to yet, you still have the other half of the year. So this weekend, sit down, write out or type out whatever little goals that you've had. If you want to learn a language still, it is not too late. Get on that shit. Download Duolingo. This is not an ad, by the way. We're not sponsored by them. Just soap. Download Duolingo. Learn a French, Spanish, Russian, Italian, whatever you want. Do whatever you want. There's still time. All right. And then if you decide, you know what, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna go to the store and pick up some groceries because we're low on milk, we're low on eggs, need some bacon. You get that shit. You take it out to your car. You put it in the trunk. And then when you are all done with that shopping cart, you put it back in the shopping cart return because that is what it is for. And we will see you next week.